Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Olympics on Fair Sports for part 2 as we introduce Team South Africa. The opening ceremony gets underway today, which means the flame will be lit and the Olympics will officially have begun. We will be covering all the events that Team South Africa do, doing a daily update basically on keeping up to date with exactly what's happening in terms of heats, qualifying, who's participating when, what time, where to watch, etc, etc. Lots of early mornings for South Africans if you want to really get into the Olympics. And we'll be also doing a video on our 5 sort of top medal hopes, which will hopefully give you a bit of idea of which people to really sort of look out for over the sort of the next sort of 2.5 weeks, really. But yeah, before you look at the team today, please do smash like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to be trying and bringing on some guests onto the channel who know a little bit more about the individual discipline and stuff like that. We've got a team of 177, well now 176 athletes across 19 different sports. But of course, there are so many sort of more sort of intricacies within each sport. For example, you look at cycling and road cycling versus track cycling versus BMX versus mountain biking. There's so many sort of differences within each sort of sport, which is what makes the Olympics such an interesting watch. But yesterday we did sort of more the sort of the team sports and stuff like that. Today looking more sort of the individuals. A very, very big athletics team, for example, which is going to be very exciting to watch out for. But we'll start with sort of more sort of the general event stuff like that. And then the equestrian side of things, we were supposed to have 2 individuals, but Tanya Seymour unfortunately had to pull out after her horse got, I think it's like something wrong with a hoof or something. I'm not going to try and get involved, but I don't know what's going on. Horse has got something wrong with its hoof. The horse can't compete. If the horse can't compete, unfortunately, the athlete can't compete. So she's unfortunately had to withdraw from the Olympics, which means our sole representative in the equestrian arena will be Victoria Scott Legendary, who will be taking part in the event, I suppose. We've got 2 climbers, climbing making his debut at the Olympics, and Eric Sturkenberg and Chris Costa will be flying the flag high there. In the golf section, watch out for Gareth Hicho. He won 3 trophies on the European Tour, as well as winning. He won quite big on the PGA Tour the other day, which was sort of what put him on the map. I think it was on the 13th of June he won the Palmetto Championship, which sort of made everybody sort of stand up and take note. He's 20 years old. 22 years old, so he's still very young in his career. He was taking part in the Open last weekend. Christian Bezedno is a little bit more experienced. He's kind of sort of been around the block. So hopefully he'll be bringing quite a lot of experience to that event. And then on the women's side, we'll have Ashley Buhai will be representing us there. I mean, golf is one of those things where we obviously could have said a lot sort of better. It's frustrating, I suppose. I kind of understand it, but you'd like to think that we could send some. I mean, it's a bit like football, I suppose, that a lot of people sort of don't take the Olympics seriously. They sort of first focus on their sort of their personal career. So, for example, something like Louis Oosthuizen and your Charles Schwartzel and stuff like that don't really sort of look at playing at the Olympics. Christian Bezedno, he's a good player. He's got a couple of wins on the European Tour. He's 27 years old. Ashley Buhai is 32 years old. She's got a lot of experience. She's got 5 professional wins in her career. We've always been very good at golf as South Africans, so hopefully they'll do quite well. In the gymnastics, we've got 2 women competing in the artistic section. That is Caitlin Rooskrantz as well as Naveen Dairies. And in judo, just the one representative. She'll be doing the women's 48 kgs. It will be Jerona Whiteboy. Let's see how she goes. I think she's actually in action this weekend. One of the first athletes who will take part in the Olympics. And then in the rowing, I mean, as sort of a discipline that we've become almost, wouldn't say known for, but it's been a decent sort of medal haul. We've got 2 previous medalists in the side. Lawrence Britton was part of the men's Cox's pair event in 2016, which won silver, and then John Smith was part of that iconic men's Cox's 4 back in 2012, who won the gold. Brilliant time it was there. James Thompson, Matthew Britton, brother of Lawrence Britton, and Sizwe Ndlovu were those 4 winners. I actually managed to meet. I think it was James Thompson and Matthew Britton years ago. Very, very nice guys. And let's hope that the rowing sort of continues to be that sort of outside shout sort of event that we can sort of sneak some medals in. You never know. Never write us off, but it's good to see that, those sort of small events are events that are becoming genuine medal contenders. Continue with sort of the individual events. Skateboarding is also making its debut at the Olympics, and we will have 4 representatives in the men, Dallas Oberholzer and Brandon Valjaro, who I actually went to school with. He's a very, very good sportsman, a very decent rugby player. Sort of dropped out of school to focus on his skateboarding and paying dividends because he's now an Olympian. And in the women's section, so he'll be doing the men's street, whilst Dallas Oberholzer will be doing the men's park. And then the women's park will be done by Melissa Williams, and Boipela Awea will be doing the women's street events. We've got unfortunately just one surfer, Geordie Smith, who was potential medal hope He's a very, very good surfer, is Jordy Smith, and surfing also, in addition to the Olympics. He's won quite a few wins on, I think it's the World Surfing League or something along those lines. But he unfortunately had to pull out, which means Bianca Buitendach will be our sole representative in the surfing contingent. She's 27 years old. So I think she had a career high 4th in the WSL. So maybe something special coming from her. And then in the sailing, just the three representatives there. We've got Leo Davis who will be doing the men's fin, and then we've got Alex Berger and Benjamin Talbach who will be doing the men's 49er in that skateboarding there. And then obviously, a section which has previously been quite sort of, we've never really sort of been big competitors, but we've got quite a big contingent, is our cycling. And you've got quite a few people involved. It's quite a big cycling side. In terms of the road cycling, we've got Stefan de Bod and Nicholas Damini, Ryan Gibbons. I think Stefan de Bod will be doing both the time trial as well as the road race. Nicholas Damini, he didn't compete the Tour de France, was part of the Tour de France. He and Ryan Gibbons will be doing the road race. Then Ashley Mulman-Passio will be doing the road race and the time trial. Carla Oberholzer will be doing just the road race. In terms of your track athletes for the cycling, Jean Spies and Charlie Duprier will be competing across the sprint, the Karen as well. And then the Omnium will be David Marie competing there. Mountain bikers will be Athlete Hathaway, who will be doing the men's cross country, and Candice Lill, who will be doing the women's cross country. And then in the BMX section, it'll be Alex Limburg, who will be competing over there. And then, probably the most exciting, and it is very much sort of the major part of the Olympics, is, the athletics team. And we've got a very, very, very big athletics side. So let's hope that this side can really, really sort of pull it through. A lot of sprinters, we've kind of got a golden generation of sprinters. I think with like 3 or 4, 5 players, 5 sprinters now, we've dipped under the 10-second margin in the 100-meter. We've only got 3 athletes who will run the 100-meter heat. It's Gift Liatlela, Sean Masungani, who's 20 years old, by the way. Very, very exciting sprinter. He sort of set the world alight a little bit in the beginning of the year. He ran the sub-10, which would have been a South African record, but was wind assisted, so it was ruled out. He's qualified for both the 100 and the 200. And then Akani Simbini, who's won one of the world leading times of the year. He will be a major, major medal hope. With no Usain Bolt, is this the chance for us to try and go and get our first sort of sprinting medal, which would be amazing if he could do it. In the 200 meters, we'll have Anasto Jawadwana, who's been our 200 meter specialist for quite a long time. As I said, Sean Maswangani, who has qualified there as well. And then Clarence Munya, who I also, he went to school, one of my rival schools, saw him play rugby and saw him run. He's unbelievably quick. And then we've got 3 athletes who will take part in the 400 meters. It's Wade van Niekerk, Tapela Pora, and Lasiba Mashele. It's Akita Nene, Wade van Niekerk, Tapela Pora, and then Lasiba Mashele will be taking part in the 5,000 meter. Antonio Alcana will be our 110-meter hurdles representative, and Sokwana Zazini will be running the 400-meter hurdles. We've got 2 relay teams in the athletics divisions. Gift Liatlela, Shaw Masungani, Clarence Manyai, Galatsen Ramora, and Connie Sabini will be running the 4x100 meter, which is an event that we did quite well recently. I think it was the World Relay Championships that we won gold. A lot of the major teams weren't part of it, but it was good to see that we were sort of competing there, and hopefully they can try and get into the final. And then the 4x400 meter relay, as you'd imagine, with 400 meter representatives, it'll be Ranti Marvin Dekwale, Zakita Nene, Zapelo Pora, Lyth Pillay, and then of course our star Wade van Niekerk. For the women's events, Dominique Scott will be running both the 5,000 meter and the 10,000 meter. Wenda Nal has been running hurdles for years, and she'll continue to do that. And then in terms of our field events, no Luvuyo Manyonga, unfortunately, currently banned because of not failing 2 whereabouts tests in terms of when it comes to testing and stuff like that. He's been going through quite a tough time personally, so he will not be at the Olympics this year. But Russell Samai has been a very, very good athlete for us. He's won 2 Commonwealth medals, and now we've got Cheswell Johnson, who will also be competing in the long jump this year. He's about a year younger than me, I think it is. So it's depressing how many more of these people are younger than me at Olympics and World Cups and stuff like that. Then Carl Blichner and Jason van Rooyen will be competing in the men's shot put. Rocco van Rooyen will be doing the men's javelin, and Joanne van Dijk will be doing the women's javelin. And then finally, our distance runners and walkers. For the marathon, we will be having Alweg Galant, Desmond Makobo, and Stephen Makoka, who's been a bit of a legend around the marathon scene for quite a while. And then the women's events, Curtis Steyn, who's currently, I think, holds the uprun record for the Comrades Marathon set back in 2019. Herself and Uvat van Rooyen will be running the women's marathon. And then the race walk, we will have Lebachan Shangi, Wayne Snyman, and Mark Mundell. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes Team South Africa. So those are the people who will be representing us. Those are the athletes who will be trying to bring back some medals back to the country. You know, it's a bit of a difficult one to really support because a lot of these people are doing things like 3-4 in the morning, but you know, we will be doing a daily summary, as I said, of everything that's going on, so we can always keep you up to date, so that you never miss something. And if there are some major things happening elsewhere in the Olympics, we'll obviously cover that as well. But those are your athletes. We'll be doing a video on our 5 sort of medal hopes, which will be coming out either today or tomorrow. So watch out for that. And then obviously we'll be doing our daily updates starting from tomorrow. It's the opening ceremony today, so we've got no competitors today. Our SC Under 23s lost to Japan 1-0 yesterday, but from tomorrow we'll be doing daily updates on exactly what's happening with Team South Africa. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you get all the latest news right here. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you guys soon.